Okay, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. I have no idea, but every time when I'm starting to stream... Yeah, I think my graphics card hates streaming. I think it does, because if I try to record or stream, it's all like... frame rate death. I really like that. I know where it's from. You mean the guy we had yesterday? How is he doing anyway? Yeah, Admiral. See me in room. Leviathan death. I remember. Oh, the whole team's here. You sure you don't live with Joey?
We Lominsons are sworn to strive.
Ooh.
Sea swallows all. And swallow all it would have had Leviathan prevailed. That we still strive now, we owe in no small part to you.
I always appreciate voice acting in my games.
Not for the first time, you have delivered Limsa Lominsa from the wrath of a primal. Never has our nation known a stouter ally.
And what, you implying you two racist to keep a Scot in your closet?
On behalf of my people, I give you my humblest thanks.
Do you see that line, like, right over here? Is it me or does it look like her natural lip line? Meaning that for some reason, the lip texture and her lip line, not the lining. Yeah. See, normal lips.
'Tis meet that I
Small
give
lips.
thanks to old Mistbeard too, for his fine solution. Whatever else he may have been, 'tis clear he was a resourceful soul. Would that I had a man like him in my service.
No, I swear, like that. Like her
Before
lips
I
go
set
up
foot
to
in these
here.
lands, I had no inkling that the people of Eorzea contended with such mighty foes. Suffice it to say, their existence came as something of a shock, as did the idea that they could be defeated.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Domans have like no issues whatsoever except for the Garleans.
This experience has served to remind me of the vastness of the world, and the boundless potential of man.
What I remember from Doma, outside of those few very, very secretive creatures, they do have like no primals, which is really weird.
Though I am but a refugee in this realm, I would fain be of use to you in your fight. Know that I am tutored in one of the foremost combat arts of the Far East. It may seem outlandish to the Eorzean eye, but should any of your people care to learn, I would be pleased to initiate them.
Is that the ninja thing? Because I'm pretty sure Thancred's already a ninja.
And I will see to it that they are grateful. I have no doubt that your knowledge and skills will serve us well. Besides, your art is not so outlandish as you think. Would you not agree, Master Thancred?
Naught escapes your searching eye, Admiral.
This is about 2.1. Ninja was added before Heavensward, so what? 2.5, 2.4 maybe? Means they're like a whole year away from releasing this new class and people are like, "A new class! Why can't I be it?"
Few are privy to this information, but Limsa Lominsa is home to a certain secret fraternity. Its members are trained in a form of combat, not unlike your own.
The secret society of super mutant ninja turtles of Limsa.
By my judgment, it should not be beyond such individuals to adapt to the techniques I witnessed you employing with such admirable deftness.
I am heartened to hear this. I too noted a kinship between your style and mine own, though it seemed to me that you fought differently in the beginning.
I suppose I did. What can I say? I'm a man of many talents.
Though you may labor to believe it, Thancred was once something of a scoundrel who fraternized with the criminal class in these parts.
Yestola! You jest, of course.
But for a chance encounter with Alphino's grandsire, he might never have left Limsa, or received an education in Sharlayan, or taken up his post in Uldah, which is where he trained in the blade, lest you wonder.
He used to be a thief boy. You don't want to deal with this criminal while he's trying to impress a girl.
Minfilia, please!
It would seem there is more to you than meets the eye, Master Thancred.
Says the walking sheet.
Lady Yugiri, I am told that you and yours came to Eorzea seeking permanent resettlement, and that many domins have since been engaged as frontier hands at Revenant's Toll. Moderna is many things, but a place of refuge it is not. Know that I would like nothing better than to furnish your people with a new home here on Lominsan soil. Alas, racked by instability as we are, our nation is in no fit state to take you in.
That makes your whole speech absolutely pointless. Yes, Revenant's Toll is not where you would take refugees. No, there's no space for them anywhere else, therefore it is where you take the refugees.
I'll not have it said that we turned a blind eye to your suffering. Until such time as we can do more, I pledge to send provisions.
We are in your debt, Admiral. I realize that it scarce qualifies as repayment, but if it please you, I shall set about sharing my martial knowledge with your people at once.
Everybody can go around slaughtering people like me!
You wished a word in private.
The better not to spoil the festive mood. History repeats itself, Admiral. As the kobolds did before them, the Sahagin resorted to summoning their god over a territorial feud. They acted in self-preservation. It may be that the Sahagin initiated this particular clash, but how it begins does not interest me so much as how it ends.
I have not forgotten our conversation, Y'shtola. I am aware that man bears part of the blame for the Primal's existence. Nor am I ignorant of the Sahagin's reason for acting. They sought to secure a place to breed and multiply that their kind might survive. Self-preservation, as you say. But we have as much right to live and thrive as they. If our own survival is threatened, are we to lay down our arms and welcome oblivion? Nay.
And so you kill, that you might live. Yet if living is a right, then that right belongs to all peoples, be they men or beastmen.
Unless you're gonna propose that they signed some sort of weird agreement. This whole speech is pointless as well. Because the Admiral is right, you're not gonna be like, oh, kill us please, for you're the more unfortunate one. Walk all over us, take this whole shore, please.
I'll not deny your reasoning. But when a storm gathers, it falls to me to see my people safely through it. That is my duty, and I shall do it.
Huzzah for doing it!
As must we all, Admiral. Stay the course, then. But know that it will lead to no good end.
Man has ever put himself first and foremost. To justify his actions, he clads himself in the armor of righteousness, though it be a fancy of his own making. In this, mayhap the Garleans and we Domans are not so different.
Eorzea has become as a raging sea. If we are to keep our heads above the waves, we cannot scruple to drown the man next to us. When hopes of coexistence founder, strength must determine who has the greater right to live.
Or you could go and make a proposal to the Sahagin. You can make your babies here. Oh, you may not annoy us. Please stay away. I accepted that axe because I wanted to see what it looks like. But we're taking a while to load in. There's that. Hey, there we go. Ooh. Not bad. Very purpley. The Admiral has informed me of the arrangement. I have in my keeping a letter of introduction for Lady Yugiri. To the south stands a gate leading to a pier for smaller fishing vessels. Look for an inconspicuous Huron man there and present the letter to him. He serves as a gatekeeper of sorts. Now before you go, I am obliged to remind you that the members of the Fraternity to which you would be introduced abide in the shadows of limits in society. They value their independence more highly than pirates and are united by a bond stronger than mithril. To wit, they are inevitably wary of newer faces. Though it be penned by the Admiral herself, mere words on parchment will get you only so far into the confidence. You must work for every ounce of trust they place in you. But here is the letter. Go to the aforementioned place and show it to the aforementioned man. Oh, and good luck. Why are we doing this? I mean, it's for Yugiri, right? So couldn't she be doing this herself? I mean, this would be me earning trust on the behalf of somebody else, and that's just weird. When was the last time that you went out to, like, do a lot of favors and then go, and here's Bob. Trust Bob now. See ya. Got business with me? Yep. So you're the woman the Admiral sent word of. I was hoping I might catch a glimpse of Tancred too. Been a while since I saw his shite-eating grin. But what's with all the doe-eyed ventures about? I expect he's got his hands full. Ah, so you must be the Far Easterner. What Merwib said wants to train with us. Welcome to Limsa, my lady. I'm Yugiri of Doma. This is an honor to make your acquaintance. I must confess, when first learned of your organization, I had certain preconceptions as to the nature of your membership. It would seem I was mistaken. You're not the first person to say that, lass. Limsa's a city of pirates, to be sure, and pirates don't give two farts about keeping a spotless reputation. They hardly need a secret society to do their dirty work. Might be as my people and I keep it to the shadows, but we got nothing to be ashamed of. It's simply better for business that we remain unseen. And so you have developed fighting techniques suited for this purpose, I see. Know that the practitioners of my art, too, are descendants of shadow. This in stealth is where our strength lies. This is much we might learn from one another, I think. Then what in the seven hells are we waiting for? If you come with us, Yugiri of the what shit, we can get acquainted in more private surrounds. That didn't come out right, did it? Lady Magnanimous, I shall remain with these people for a time, that I might study their ways. Though I am loath to be separated from my countrymen, I take solace in the knowledge that they are in the best of hands. You have been a true friend to us Domans. No words would suffice to express my gratitude. Ere long, I hope to begin imparting my martial knowledge to the people of Eorzea. When the time comes, it will be my honor to welcome you as a student. I don't need no little frilly ninja stars, I have my trusty axe. Don't need anything else when you can axe things into. Much and more has occurred since first I beheld Eorzea from a galleon's deck. Suffice it to say, I did not envision being invited to play a part in your noble struggle. But forgive me, I have kept you over long. Doubtless you have pressing business of your own. Rest assured, and I no longer require an escort to this land. When next you meet Lady Minfilia, pray relate to her my humblest thanks. Would that I could do so in person, but I need to fulfill my promise to the Admiral. Till we meet again, Warrior of Light. And back to the Rising Stones we go. Rising Stones, my lad. Where all the stones rise. I'm kind of bored with the outfit that I'm wearing, so I might look if we have enough poetics for an armor piece. Poetic gear is like super cheap now. Rovina! I heard you like armor! Oh wait. Wrong person. It's Oriana. We are short. Doesn't even count as a town. What kind of place is this? Oh well, time to Minfilia the Minfilia. I did a thing! Do you want me to do all the other things? Because you always want me to do all the endless things. The things just keep on coming. I'm sure it was exciting to have some new main scenario. When you were doing this patch cycle by patch cycle, but Realm Reborn quests just aged really badly. Not even the leveling quests, just these quests.
I have been reflecting upon the events which took place during our visit to Vilbrand.
It has a lot more voice acting than I remember though.
If you have a moment, I would share my conclusions with you. Please, bear with me.
I'm bearing with you.
When the Sahagin Elder summoned Leviathan, he employed the power we have come to know as the Echo, though I cannot well explain the how of it. It would seem he became immortal in so doing. When the Admiral subsequently slew him, his spirit emerged from his lifeless flesh, a consciousness shorn of physical form. Thus transfigured, he took up residence in the body of his minion with the ease of a man donning a favorite glove.
Voice chat died?
Long have I known that the Echo allows one to pass through the walls of a man's soul. But never did I imagine that it could free us from our own flesh, nor less that our souls could then occupy the next corporeal vessel to take our fancy.
Apparently only if you have a... Oh. Oh yeah, I remember that. But even then, I don't think that non-voiced bits fell onto where the voice actor died. And also the fleshy stuff, you can only apparently take up a new form if that form's like right next to you, because apparently you don't have that much time.
It was of this that Elizabeth spoke, an existence which knows neither cessation nor oblivion. And yet, though the Sahagin had mastered his gift and thereby become immortal, he was by no means invulnerable. As we both bore witness, he was ultimately absorbed into Leviathan.
I am gonna imagine that there is a Asian sitting or standing about over here, because otherwise that camera angle would make very little sense.
And the import of this observation? If the Asians' mode of existence is indeed the same, it can be inferred that they too are not invulnerable, that they can be destroyed. There exists a legend which tells of souls who are reborn upon the cusp of each umbral calamity, that they might stay the encroaching darkness. To most, it is but a fairy tale, yet recent events have given me cause to wonder, could the legend in fact refer to the Echo?
Or to me.
Much and more yet
I like
remains
being
unknown,
important.
but I am confident that all will become clear in time. For the present, however, what matters is that the key to defeating the Asians may at last be within sight. With Eorzea's aid, it is my hope that I shall fathom this matter ere long.
I hate when I get a piece of tooth stuck on a piece of tooth.
Oh, I was just about to send for you, my friend. Is aught amiss?
Grave tidings from the Sharlayan motherland, my lady.
Sharlayan motherland, we never went there. That is totally a place where we should go.
It doth concern our distant allies, the students of Baldesion.
Are they not being very studious?
What of them?
My lady, the Isle of Val, which for many years hath been the Order's home, is no more.
No more? Whatever do you mean?
I relate only that which hath been conveyed unto me by our agents. An etheric wave of the highest magnitude was recorded in the region. Soon thereafter, 'twas observed that the isle had ceased to be. 'Tis postulated that a magic was evoked, like in power to Ultima.
12 preserve.
Is there an Ultima that eats islands? If it's not the shape of a sky whale, then they're just not that cool.
If there are no other matters, I move that today's meeting be adjourned.
Did he sit there until midnight? Is this where he sleeps?
It is done, my lord. Forgive my impertinence, my lord, but these orders, I am uncertain as to what end they serve.
Revolution.
There's something about evil Alice that just make you smile. Like, ah, Midget has great plans. That is a very cute name for a shield, by the way. Onion shield. Our friends, the very isle itself, everyone and everything. No, it fails us not to speculate. Uriandra will send word if there are any developments. Until such time as he goes, we must remain firmly focused on that which is within our power to change. With that in mind, I would speak of a different matter, one closer to home. Oops. It concerns etheric fluctuations, which we had previously attributed to good King Mogomog XII. The king is no more, is a blessing for which we have you to thank. Yet all is not well in Heavensward. Our latest readings reveal an ongoing etheric disturbance of considerable magnitude. They may even suggest the presence of a primal. Needless to say, the mere possibility warrants immediate investigation. I would have you. Celia, I do not wish to interrupt, but we have a problem. What matter of problem? A band of refugees, hailing from Uldah this time, are come to Revenant's Toll seeking asylum. It would seem that they expect us to afford them the same treatment we gave to the Domans. At present, they are in 7th heaven awaiting a formal response. I see. Mayhap this was to be expected. I shall meet with them at once. Celia, you know full well we haven't the resources to accommodate many more people. Consider what will happen if you do this. Word will spread and more will follow. Your opinion is duly noted, but I will hear their suit. Magnanimous, I should be grateful for your presence at this meeting. I can look like that muscle that can kill you if you say a word wrong. So there is one thing that I should do, and I'm gonna do really quickly, is I'm gonna put a beer back and just... Actually, first, I fix my monitor. Better. Yeah, I'm gonna put a beer back and switch my radiator off. Okay! Very much back. Wait, where were we going? Oh yeah, just outside, okay. I don't know what listening to them is gonna do if we can't actually help them. Wouldn't that be even more frustrating? Yes, we note your concerns. No, we cannot help. Go away. I have thought that that was the 7th Dawn because it has like a bar thingy, but forgot that the Rising Stones have 2 layers to it. Sorry guys, can't employ you. Position already taken. I apologize for keeping you waiting. My name is Midfilia and I lead the Science of the 7th Dawn. 12 be praised, that is you. We're ready and willing to work, same as the Domans. Just give us a task and we'll see it done. Pray calm yourselves. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I know naught of your situation. Beg your pardon, Antecedent. I ain't so good with words. We've been living off the scraps of Uldah for years now, trying to piece together a life to replace the one who got took. They say there's work, but there is not for an honest man, not as wouldn't sully his soul sooner than his palms. Any road. The flames do what they can for us, of course, but it ain't enough. And it's only getting worse. When the calamity brought us to our knees, the rich bastards in the city didn't help us up. They climbed on our backs. Don't pretend to be clever, but even I can see what's coming. I know we had to run. The only question was where. And then it came to me, Revenant's Toll. I mean, you took them foreigners in, didn't you? So you'll surely do the same for us. No, we like the foreigners more, you see, because they're ninjas. I fear the situation is rather more complicated. While it's true that we accepted the Domin's petition for aid, the decision was the product of extraordinary circumstances. I sympathize deeply with your plight, but pray understand that it's not possible for an organization of our means to aid all who have been affected by the calamity. And so it is with great regret that I must deny your request. But we're nowhere else to go. You're turning your back on us? If I might have a word. Tataru's Optimus. Ill writings from Uldah, my lady. Alpinode has been wounded. What? How? Is it serious? I cannot say for certain, but I fear it might be. According to the Flames, the refugees started a riot. They went wild, apparently, lashing out at anyone and everyone. That can't be right. Why would they? They must have been provoked. The demonstration was meant to be peaceful. 7 hells! Now the Blades have an excuse. They'll round us up and kill everyone who tries to resist. Antecedent, please. You won't help us build a new life, at least help us keep the ones we got. My lady. We are not ones to stand idly by and watch innocents suffer. However, until we know more of the circumstances surrounding the riot, I am not certain what aid, if any, we can provide. If the authorities determining the refugees attacked without provocation, and those responsible will have to answer for their actions. How can you be so blind? Find Alpinode quickly. If he is in danger or worse, I would have you and none other be by his side. Thank you. Pray do not concern yourself with the matter we were discussing earlier. Ida and Papalimo will see to it. Alpinode is being treated at the Hourglass. Hurry, Magnanimous. That felt horribly unfair, because, I mean... surely if there is people, and nothing for people to do, you probably have... desert space somewhere to just like send them off and be like, yeah, you do a thing over there. I mean, you don't have to keep them in Uldah. I mean, couldn't Revenant's Toll kind of expand? Shouldn't you be like, any of you that can make armor or bake buns can like come on over and try and sell some buns or something? There's more and more these things in here. And I had to remind myself that the Christmas event is not till the 17th. What day is it? Either way, it's a day. And it's not the 17th. There won't be an unlock quest for it. Even though the clothing is kinda cool looking. Okay, I really need to yawn. You can hear how exciting it is to be the bodyguard of Alpinode. While he's not having any mental breakdowns, he later does. You'll see why.
Come, you must have gathered by now that Tataru is given to exaggeration. As you can see, I am quite well.
And I can prove that you're not your sister by the sound of your voice.
Uldah, on the other hand, is not. This riot was anything but an isolated incident. There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over. Uldah is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life.
I'm not like a rare species, you know. There are Rogadins everywhere, and they are pretty massive.
To an Uldan, money is the foremost, and some would say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence. So where do the refugees fit into this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alamigo and the destruction of the Calamity? Plainly, there is none. They have no wealth, no power, and no worth. To the Uldan way of thinking, they may as well not exist.
They do have quite the nice underboob, though.
Choosing to ignore their existence, however, is patently not an option. General Rauban and the Sultana understand this, which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor. Yet none would dispute that the expenses incurred by this policy grow by the day, with no end in sight. This has prompted more and more Uldans to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers. While more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry. The manner of Lord Lolorito's refusal to grant the Dolmens asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees, an attitude shared by the rest of the monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions. It was only a matter of time before the refugees united in protest, nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence.
After all animals do?
That the Immortal Flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grand Companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated beyond mending.
So what do you suggest we do? Keep the riot, you know, subdued on our own? As I told you before, it was all but inevitable that an incident of this kind would eventually occur given the rising tensions with the Sultana. Nevertheless, I have reason to believe that this particular riot may have not begun spontaneously. Have I piqued your curiosity? Good, then you will accompany me to the Hall of Flames, and would hear what General Rauban has to say about the matter. Probably nothing interesting or fun. Maybe something political. I completely forgot that that has 2 exits. I don't think I ever used this one. So I was like, where am I? They're selling Eureka level now. Suppose if there's one thing people are willing to pay for. Now it's not a good time, Private Munchicus. My hands are full dealing with the refugees. Precisely the matter we wish to discuss, General. Alpino, you're on your feet already? You may credit my swift recovery to your chirurgeons. Doctor people. My memories of the riot are still somewhat muddled. I trust you managed to regain control of the situation? Not entirely. We secured the city soon enough, but not because the unrest had spread to the surrounding territories. I mean, not before it has spread to the surrounding territories. Pockets of resistance remain throughout Thanalan. We have sent what forces we can spare to root out the last of the Belingians, but progress is slow. They are damnably elusive. I can well imagine, given that the majority of refugees live outside the walls, it stands to reason that they would know their way up the land. What I do not understand is how they came to be so well prepared. Before my little incident, I observed that several of the refugees were armed, and not with butcher's knives and pitchforks, but with martial weaponry. I needed hardly add that such equipment is costly. None can deny the tensions between the Uldah citizenry and the refugee population have increased since the domans were turned away, but would that motivate the starving man to purchase arms in lieu of food? I think not. And what of those who have not even a single gil to spend, who could not survive without the aid provided by immortal flames? Surely they would sooner sell a weapon than bring it to bear against their benefactors. Come to the point. Very well, my point, General, is that power keg of discontent was not set alight by chance. These events were deliberately set in motion, and now order must be restored. That is my first duty. Until it's done, any investigation can wait. I do not have time to discuss this. My scouts will be returning anon. I have it here, so why not? The general is no fool. He keeps his own counsel, and with good cause. Were he to claim, without the necessary proof, that these riots were instigated by outside forces, the monetarists would accuse him of attempting to shirk responsibility. After all, he and the Sultana have been most outspoken proponents of the refugee aid. Regardless, they will face harsh criticism in the days ahead. Our allies may stumble upon the truth in time, but I have more faith in your abilities, Magnanimous. Therefore, I propose we conduct our own investigation independent of the authorities. Alpinode speaks a lot! To that end, I would have you make inquiries in the settlement suspected of harboring Belingians. Commander Swift will know which they are. He may balk at a request for such information, but I have no doubt that you can persuade him with your silver tongue. I, meanwhile, shall sit in here with my arms crossed. Shall seek answers in my own way, after which we can regroup and share our findings. Well then, shall we? Does your own way include just like sitting in the place of tasties and eating them? You look as though you have something to say. What you ask is no simple favor. Were such information to fall into the wrong hands, the lives of countless soldiers would be at risk. Even so, there is wisdom in your words. An able individual, even one with ties to the flames, may be better suited to this task than a regiment. Very well, the Brass Blades have reported suspicious activity in the vicinity of Lost Hope. May be unrelated to the recent events, but we doubt it. I suggest you begin by speaking to the Blades posted there. Well, that was easy. I have expected him to go, your rank isn't high enough. Then I would be like, oh, bullshit. I never ranked up my grand company, but bullshit. I should stop eating random things around me. It's just something I really enjoy doing. Also, to anyone watching, next Saturday, I believe, on the 22nd, I'm gonna be having a Christmas extravaganza. It's just before my husband will have some free days off work, so, you know, while I'm still home alone and stuff. And I'll be trying to do as many games as possible in the span of one day. And at each of those games, I will be giving away free codes for other games. So, there's that. Okay. And thank you for complimenting Final Fantasy XIV. I'm sure it really appreciates it. A friend of the Sultanate, are we? I take it means someone has read my report. The refugees who left the merchant have yet to return, and I'm increasingly concerned that Zazawaka's suspicions were correct. You haven't the foggiest what I'm talking about, do you? Never mind, speak with Zazawaka, it will explain everything. I mean, you're not Zazawaka, but I can interview you too. And what brings you here, adventurer? Search for refugees? Well, then you come to the right place. And you mean those refugees? Oh no, you won't find them here. Most of the people have lost hope, yet have come to accept their situation and are content to pass their days in peace and quiet. That sounds like death. They're passing their final resting days in peace and quiet. Outsiders have trouble understanding that, like that merchant who passed through recently. Precocious fellow, but awfully opinionated. Can't say I was sad to see him go. Did he leave any weapons behind? Or did he buy a refugee attire? Both of these questions are very important. Ah, don't hurt me. I'm not one of them. Wait, I know your face. Are you not the woman who from the Church of Saint Adama Landama? Oh, 1,000 pardons, my friend. I mistook you for one of those thugs who have been tormenting us. If Leofric bid you speak with me, then I take it you agreed to help. 'Twill be praised for that, because we haven't a moment to waste. Everyone knows the flames are on the march. The others have fallen under the fanatic's spell, but not ill promises of revolution and retribution, of holding the ruling class to account and taking that which is owed. Ha! A childish fantasy. I did everything I could to dissuade the others from leaving, but few would need my words. Now the one of our idealists has returned, however, the madness of the merchants planned for out to sea. Look behind yonder tent and you will understand why. Did you hide dead babies there? You must be hiding dead babies there. Even now he babbles incoherently, so traumatized is he by the bloodshed he witnessed. Try as I might, I can make little sense of his word beyond the fact that he was not alone in surviving. Yet I see no doubt that merchant will lead the remainder to the doom. I beg of you, find him before he does. Is he actively on the search? I mean, what is he... Wait, what? Does he need a refugee army or something? What are you doing? Don't draw. Why didn't you run away with me? We could have escaped together, and then you'd be here with me, but here to soothe me. Why did you have to stay and leave me alone? There, little traumatized human being. Let the giant woman put her arms on you. Who are you? What do you want? Ah, it's true. I followed the merchant and made the gods strike me down for my folly. What they will not give, you must take, he said. When we asked how, he revealed a cache of weapons he had brought and implored us to seize control of our fates. I thought about running then and there, but the others were so excited. He split us into 2 groups, sent us off on our own. But when the flames found us, he didn't know what to do. Our leader tried to parley with others, but then they started arguing, and then fighting, and then everybody was fighting, and then the flames were shouting to give no quarter, and... Oh gods, the other group! They're still out there! We don't stop them, they'll be massacred like mine was! Oh, so most of your group got killed. Good. Maybe next time you will think a bit further before, you know, marching off to kill a bunch of people? The other refugees are hiding in the caves south of Lost Hope, but to approach them would be fruitless. They would sooner call us agents of the Sultanate and try to kill us than listen to reason. Why, the twins might even design to do the deed themselves. A pox on all the bloody soul swords. They were supposed to train us to fight, but the ones he sent with us vanished during the struggle. Oh, and if only we had never listened to the merchant's ridiculous claims. He said our cause was righteous and that the gods would never suffer us to be defeated. So if they were forced to confront reality, that's it. Challenge the twins to combat and show my brethren that their strongest warriors are no match for one woman. Mayhap then they will agree to lay down the arms and renounce this plot. Beat some people up, got it. All of you, one woman. One giant axe-bearing woman. That is what we gonna do. Hop. Hop, hop. So then, do you like sitting in wet? I have all sorts of mounts. I could like fly in with a fat Moogle. Which I don't know looks less scary or more scary. Okay, so I was told to beat you up, yeah? 7 health, you found this. Everyone grab your gear and make for the Renzivis point. So that's your game, is it? Haha, sorry to disappoint you, lads, but we're more than willing to kill you ourselves. That's a Moogle. That fat flying Moogle queen. Singing the good King Moggle Mog theme. So how many people am I supposed to kill? I'm supposed to try and persuade you to lie down your arms, though, but don't think that that's what I'm doing. Or if that is what I'm doing, then I'm doing that very poorly, because I think I'm just outright murdering you. Oh, I'm still on tank stats. I can deal that much damage in tank stats. Must be really scared of me now. Do you want to die by your principles? I think you do, but that is not a very smart thing to do. I mean, it's better to live another day and then reach your principles again than it is to die by them. Ah, some more! I'm gonna just murder a village in here. Don't mind me. Oh. This one's a bit less squishy. That's okay though. He's yelling a lot of no's. Take that as an encouraging element. Any more? No? You beat him like it was nothing. That almighty, what are we gonna do now? Maybe. Just maybe. You can now, like, stop. As you know, everybody's been dead. So it's about the right time to just stop. I'm so shy. I'm so shiny! I absolutely love how they have like little crystals on this tiny little jumpy thing. Carbuncle, that was the right name. And one way or another, I'm gonna have a flying whale. My husband might gift it to me for Christmas. You've returned! Did you find my brethren? What of the twins? What happened? I see. Well, you had no choice. Better than a handful of them take a beating from you than the lot get butchered by the flames. Tell me, what did the merchant have to say when it was over? Huh? But where else would he be? Unless he went to the stone throw to recruit others. As I recall, he wished to approach the refugees there as well, but was waiting until the flames withdrew their forces from the vicinity. And now that they have, there's nothing to stop him from continuing his work. How many more must perish in pursuit of the futile cause? How much more suffering must we endure before it ends? Find him, convince him to cease his mad quest. It will surely lead us to ruin. I don't think I can convince him. But I can find him nonetheless. And my axe may do the talking. That mounts too normal, actually. Let me try a mount that literally everyone has. There, let me just try it on the butt of a muscle machine. That seems like a great idea. You know, no matter how old and common this mount gets, I love it. So fat. It used to be a subscription reward, but now it's... I think you have to hit like level 35. Have you seen my parents? They told me to stay here with the others. They said they'll be back soon, but it's been days. They left with the man from Uldah. This man said they were gonna charge everything, make it so that we could live inside the walls with everyone else. I liked it when he said that. I didn't like it when he talked about making the rich people pay. Everyone looked so angry and I got scared. Lots of people left with the man after that, but none came back. Yeah! That happens when people die. And they have nobody to blame them but themselves. And before you're like, oh, but the merchant people convinced them. They also had the choice to just not do that. Had the choice to not start an armed conflict. Surely they should have known that that's an awful idea. This pear tastes so slimy. I think it's just because it's ripe, but goddamn the sliminess. I'm used to very dry pears. My mother sent us so much food yesterday. I'm just trying to consume all the perishables like fruits. Welcome back, Private Munchikas. Have you learned aught of interest? You persuaded a gang of refugees to lay down their arms? The Flame General will be pleased to learn this. Less so, the other revelations. We must apprehend this treacherous snake at once. I think my earrings are... yeah. 120. That's better than 110. What? What does this unlock? Oh! Beast tribe. Okay. The merchant has not only publicly incited sedition with the Sultanate, but gone so far to provide material support to would-be Belingians. It galls me that his role in the uprising should have escaped our notice for so long. And I can well imagine why it did, rightly or wrongly. Those with whom he consorts don't trust us. Alas, trust is not easily earned even in times of peace. We must nevertheless try. For I believe it is only with the cooperation of the refugees that we will catch our quarry. And so I would have you continue your investigation in Pearl Lane. We know that the merchant sought to recruit the people of Lost Hope and Stone Throw, so it seems reasonable to assure that he may approach the residents of Pearl Lane as well. After all, the first riots occurred within the city itself. Most, if not all, will refuse to discuss the subject with you. There is one who may be willing to do so, a man named Landebird. He too had his misgivings about us, but I believe he understands that these riots do little to further his people's cause. Pearl Lane? Okay, we want to get to Sapphire Venue Exchange. It's really weird to name a tiny street like that. I suppose it's not that different from us giving names to streets, but it's still weird that, like, that particular corner we call Pearl Lane. I swear I didn't see that on the teleportation network. I think I know why. I may have failed to attune to it. Always attuned to everything in a Final Fantasy game. Yep, I failed to attune to it. I hope that was the last one. First comes a man with the promise of deliverance. Seeing your suffering firsthand and will bear it no longer, says he. Your friend, your ally, your comrade in arms? Take his hand, and he will guide you to a better tomorrow. Then comes a soldier with the promise of justice. Follow the man who come before at your peril, says he. For those who saw the wind shall reap the whirlwind. The man's no saint, any fool can see that. We're but tools for his task to be used and discarded. As for this soldier, she thinks only for her mission. She's more honest than the man, but every bit as ruthless, make no mistake. With whom shall I cast my lot? Neither, says I. For as I am concerned, you're no better than the bastard you pursue. Now the soldier is thinking how else she might get what she wants. She tried the diplomatic approach and failed. Mayhap a firmer hand is needed. Mayhap she needs to make an example out of this Alamegan scum like she did out of those 5 fools from Lost Hope. Well, you'll get no justification from me, soldier. If that's what you're waiting for, I'll not raise a hand against you. But neither will I lend a hand to help you. Not that it makes any difference. Pah, the gods seem bent on granting your bloody every wish. There you are, Lambert. Have you given any thought to my proposal? Praise the gods for my luck. There he goes, towards the gate of Thal. Go and claim your prize for coin and country. And I'm like, yep, I'm gonna do just that. Go and claim my prize for coin and country. No, I would not call myself a soldier. I mean, I'm not really in the army, I'm just in the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Which are way too dysfunctional to be in an army. For one thing, we ride fat chocobos. I must tell you, this is not an efficient means of transport. It just looks funny. You again? Why are you pursuing me? Sedition, treason, revolution? That's preposterous. Who has filled your head with these lies? Refugees? The self-same refugees who terrorized the streets of Uldah? You have no evidence to prove your accusation. None! No, I will not accompany you to the Hall of Flames. You have no right to detain me. For the sake of argument, let's say I did those things you claim. Surely you don't think I give a quern's ass about politics. It was business, only business. He's like, okay, Lady Giant may bring me to justice. We both know I am not the one you want. However, if you agree to protect me, I swear I shall tell you everything. And I failed to protect you the first second that I agreed to do so. What's all this commotion? 7 hells! I only have an axe? Tell the others to spread out and search the area. The killer may still be close. Well, at least they were like, no way you shot him. You the woman with the axe. Now, if you're a bard, this must be really awkward. You're just like standing there with like bow and a bunch of quills, and you're like, wasn't me! Hold, adventurer. I would know more about your relationship with the victim, as well as the events leading up to his death. This man was responsible for the recent riots. Mayhap we owe this murderer a debt of gratitude. In any case, it is obvious you are not the one whom we seek. You may carry on with your investigation, Zion. Ah, you know who I am! That's nice. Okay, let's ride the other fat chocobo. I have both! I should start the fat chocobo collection. It would be such a fine collection. Only the fattest of fat chocobos would do. I don't want to port for such a short distance, but we have speed in our legs. Ooh. The only thing that's kind of bad about like looking at people's glamours from my height is that it's really hard to do as I'm quite tall, so my camera's like always higher than the person I'm trying to look at. What news, Private Munchicus? Murdered? Damn it all to 7th hell. He was not simply murdered, Private, he was silenced. Too many knew his face, and he was ready to divulge his secrets. Do not despair, though, we may be closer to identifying the true orchestrator of these riots than you realize. The Flame General left word that you were to proceed to the Fragrant Chamber as soon as you return. He wishes to discuss the recent discoveries as well as the results of our own investigation. Master Alpinode has already been informed and should be waiting for you outside. Pray proceed to the Royal Promenade with all haste and speak with Bartholomew. At least I know how to pronounce that, for that is a human name. Still a silly name, but that is most definitely a human one. And we are attuned to the Royal Promenade, so this is easy. I hope. Yes, we are. So many people. There's always so many quests happening in here as well. We have been expecting you, madam. Please proceed inside. I like how he has a name, but the guy that looks identical to him right next to him doesn't.
Commander Swift has kept us apprised of your recent activities. You've made great strides towards quelling the violence.
Not towards recognizing who instigated in the first place, though.
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, the truth continues to elude us. Have you uncovered aught which might shed some light on the mystery?
I have forgotten how much of these were voice acted. Maybe Realm Reborn quests were not as annoying as I remember them being.
This information does not leave this room. The Syndicate's decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the Calamity claimed it was proof of a policy of discrimination.
But we rejected it.
Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate. Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence. Until a certain incident served as a call to arms.
Was it a member of the Syndicate?
A unit of brass blades sent to supervise a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters. It was this atrocity which prompted the refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
We assumed at first that the attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen. But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's commanding officer, whom I ordered interrogated. Sure enough, our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. A merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
Teleji Adeleji?
Teleji Adeleji! Teleji Adeleji!
But he spoke in favor of the Doman's cause, and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight. Why would he do such a thing?
Know you of the Cartano Reclamation Bill? It is a proposal to annex the Cartano Flats so that refugees may establish permanent settlements.
When last I looked, that was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a battlefield.
So how would it help him get this land? Would he be like, say it's not safe to have them around?
Greatest at the Cartano Flats. That much is common knowledge. What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Alagon ruins, of which no record existed. There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day.
Where is this? Kinda wanna go. Actually, here's a very good question. I know that there is private servers for Final Fantasy 1.0. And there's no private service for Final Fantasy Live servers because obviously we do not need them. But a lot of Final Fantasy 1.0's places that cutscenes were filmed at were actual physical places possible to find underground. So my question is, does this, it's like a little selection of assets, does it actually exist? Because I bet your ass it does, somewhere underneath the map. They might have built this for just one cutscene, but I bet you anything they actually built it.
Yet differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, in the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement.
That red thing almost makes me think that this is a PvP place.
Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations. In full knowledge of this delicate state of affairs, Teleji Adeleji proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill. A shameless bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one conceivable way. If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Allagan ruin.
Every Allagan ruin will be mine, but there will be a little shack just for you, mister.
The man would threaten the unity of the Eorzean alliance and risk countless lives for personal gain.
Have you been born yesterday, Nanamo? This is what Uldah's all about.
He walks a path all his own, independent of any faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the Syndicate.
By inciting the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Cartano Reclamation Bill is the only viable solution. His sympathy for the plight of the Domans was not but posturing to gain credibility with the refugees. Of that there can be no doubt.
Forgive me, but what could possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths? What is so special about these ruins that he would risk his position on the Syndicate, and, most likely, charges of treason against the Sultanate?
Well, first of all, it is Allagan ruins, so you know that there's gonna be something interesting. And anything interesting is worth some cash.
Omega.
Oh. Another weapon.
Pardon?
An Allagan monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima weapon. Mayhap larger, we know not. It has yet to be fully excavated. Allagan inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself.
Oh, that would have been cool, seeing it just eat Bahamut.
If accurate, it might explain why Naelvan Darnus chose to bring the Red Moon down upon the Cartano Flats. Given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation, destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder Primal may well have seemed like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon, one which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut!
Bahamut!
Aye, we were skeptical ourselves. Truth be told, until the Ultima weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
At present, Omega is more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to function. As such, its true potential cannot accurately be gauged.
Oh, it comes alive, alright! At one point or another.
However, if someone were to restore it, as the Garleans did the Ultima weapon, I have little doubt that he would wield untold power.
If you're telling about it, it's no longer untold.
Like as not, and the rest of Eorzea besides, which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
That he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Uldah.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
My next quest! I should be glad to know the truth, and yet the thought that all this chaos was the product of one man's lust for power sickens me. How long do you think they intend to hide the existence of Omega from science? That they even felt the need to do so is most troubling. It would be in our best interest to learn more of the military activities of the disputed territories. They are, of course, the scion best suited to this task, Private Munchkus. Do take a moment to visit the Hall of Flames and make inquiries about the earliest available opportunity. Begone, whelp! This is no place for children. I'm sorry. You're a paladin. You should be ashamed of yourself. You don't speak like that to a child when you're a paladin. I was looking for you, miss. People said you were looking for the man who left with my parents. You know this girl? Alpino, do you want a second sister? So he visited Stone Throw as well, I see. Did you find the man? Were my parents with him? They were not, I am afraid. However, I can think of several places they might be. If you like, we can go and look for them together. Really? You'll help me look, mister? Of course, but first I must needs finish speaking with my friend. She's telling me a secret, you see, so no one else is allowed to listen. Mayhap you could wait for me by that pillar over there? We require but a moment. Okay, mister, I'll be waiting. I'll take her to Quicksand. Mayhap Mamari will know what to do. Sigh, a legion of Garleans and Eaters Third Primal, even dealing with an Asian would be preferable to this charade. I agree, I hate politics too. Sometimes I fear Minfilia is too ambitious. We rush hither and yon in response to threats as they arise without concern for the strain it places on our limited resources and ourselves. Mayhap the time has come for a change. Magnanimous, this is Minfilia. I know this is sudden, but I must ask you to return to Revenant's Stall with all due haste. The situation in Twelvewood has taken a turn for the worse. I will explain in detail once you arrive. The Twelvewood? Then the primal threat she spoke of before has been confirmed. I have received no reports of Ixali activity, which leaves the Sylphs. Go, Magnanimous, you know as well as I that the appearance of a primal takes precedence over all else. Oh, and when you arrive, do inform the antecedent that while I am grateful for her concern, she needn't fear for my safety. I am more than capable of protecting myself. There are a few things that I want to do first, though. This is simply to make the game a little bit more fun. First, I want to equip my nice ring to improve my eye level. I think that is gonna help. But secondly, I want to do a glamour, and I have quite a lot. Most of these are sub-rewards. Some are very special, like this one. So special. Then there's the one that I showed off at the start that I really like. But I think I'm gonna wear this one for a while. From a different Final Fantasy game, but I think it's gonna be fun wearing it. There is another thing I want to do. I actually want to change my haircut. Why? Because it's been quite a while since we've done that. I don't think we did it since the start of the game at all. It's one thing that is quite cool about Final Fantasy XIV. You can change your hair to your liking at any point in time. You can even like change some of your facial details and stuff. It's mostly race changes and gender changes that require you to buy money, like pay money to Square Enix, but you can change a lot of things for free. We do that inside an inn. Oh, that's the innkeep. I also want to run at least one dungeon today. You will be unable to communicate with people while customizing your appearance. Equip my attire back up. Mostly just want to see what kind of haircuts we can have and maybe the hair color, nothing more. I mean, there are quite a lot of nice ones. Just want to look different. We don't want to look the same at all times. Looking the same is boring, you see. A lot of these are cross-race. A lot of them I can see on my current aura as well, and a lot of them I did see on my Lalafell. What was that other haircut with the whirly things? It was like the pigtails, but a bit different. Oh yeah, this thing. Oh god. I do like the short haircuts the most because, well, personal preference, but also because it's easier to wear clothes with them. One of the worst thing about MMOs is that things clip really easily. I'm amazed that this haircut clips as little as it does. The only issue that with us being a Rogadin, looking really male and quite scary is very easy. Because you see, if you go for an edgy haircut on, let's say, a Lalafell, nobody's gonna bat an eye, even though they might confuse you with a Lalafell boy, because Lalafell is the only race that can... It looks a bit gender neutral, and you can make some nice traps, if that's your thing. I made it look angry, not male. It's very hard to make Rogadin look very soft and feminine. Why is that loose piece of hair just like sticking up like that? That looks really silly. I suppose it's just the texture of the hair of Rogadin women? What if we did highlights? Highlights are always fun. My warrior always has like them in red or something? I don't think this haircut is very suited for highlights though. Almost like a shade of pink. I like this. Looks pretty cool. Test it under different lighting. Oh, that looks awful under different lighting. Maybe I should stick with the very light hair. Can wear some lipstick. And try and look a lot more feminine. Yeah, sure. Yeah, this will look... I forgot that I have tokens. This will be the new us for now. It's important to change your appearance often. Oh god, that noise. So now we have new attire, even though I still think that it looks really weird with that boob armor. We have a new haircut. We can continue going to Minfilia in the Rising Stones. Not from here though. For some very odd reason. I just hit my tooth with the cup. Ow. It will look really weird when I finally change my top. Because these pants, they're like tights. Yeah, see how the plate is like directly on her boobs? And it's very shiny, making it oddly apparent. I wonder if my frame rate during stream looks any better because I uncapped it from 60. And if I tried capping it to 30, something weird would happen. It would actually cap to 19. It is a relief to see you healthy and hale, Magnanimous. The latest news from Uldah was most disturbing. How do you like my new haircut? Clearly, the only injury Alpinode suffered was to his ego. Doubtless it will heal ere long. The other Scions will need to be present for this meeting. If you're ready to begin, I will summon them now. Woo! Meeting! We love those! Thank you for responding to my call with such haste. Rest assured, I should not have summoned you were it not urgent. To business then. I have received some most disturbing news from Order of the Twin Adder. They have reason to believe that the Sylphs may have been called forth their revered guardian, the Primal Ramu. I'm sorry, may have? Then it is not certain. The Elder Seedseer informs us that the elementals themselves murmur of the Lord Levin's return to the forest. The Sylphlands, however, display no signs of undue commotion. Forgive me, Antecedent, but that fact need not contradict the elemental's testimony. Unlike his more bellicose peers, Garuda and so on, Ramu is reputed to act only in the defense of his children. Imagine he would soon make his presence known if any were foolish enough to directly endanger the Sylphs of their territory. The abruptness of this development concerns me. Were we not keeping a close watch on the touched ones and their movements? If preparations for summoning ritual were indeed underway, I would surely not have escaped our notice. Oh, it didn't. I was pretty sure it was gonna happen, just not this soon. I beg your pardon, you foresaw this eventuality and did not prevent it? I told Papolimo. I suppose I could have reported things to Minfilia earlier, but there honestly wasn't much we could do except wait and see. You know how the Sylphs feel about people poking around in their territory? They already summoned Ramu once, right after the calamity, but that was because the Garleans came trampling around the forest. As long as Castrum Orient stands, the Sylphs cannot be blamed for wishing to have their guardian deity on hand. In short, Ida and I were in agreement. The actions of the forest folk were inevitable and unavoidable. And I maintain the observation would have remained the best policy had it not been for the sudden influx of strangers into the Black Shroud. That, alas, we did not foresee. By all accounts, the recent violence in Uldah drove a number of refugees to seek safety under the concealing canopy of the trees, and not on the seas. Dislike that the Sylphs perceived the panicked migration as yet another invasion and quickened their efforts to summon their god. I am put in mind of Titan and the kobolds. Once again, and this the affairs of men which have paved the way for primals coming. Oh, shush, you hippie. Indeed, one cannot help but wonder what manner of place Eorzea would be without the civiling influence of mankind. But that as it may, this regrettable development does afford us a unique opportunity. Magnanimous though we are dealings with the Sylphs of Little Solace, you once succeeded in preventing an untimely conflict in Gridania. I wonder, might one who have treated with the Sylphs so fruitfully in the past not achieve similar success with their patron deity? If Ramuh can be convinced of our intentions, it may be first step to breaking the cycle of primal summoning. A fond hope. Were such a thing possible, we would not have been at war with the beastmen since time immemorial. But maybe this time we can? Let us continue the discussion anon. We must needs first consult with the nation most affected by Ramuh's presence. The Elder Seer has requested your personal involvement, Magnanimous. Pray report to Commander Heloy in the Adder's Nest as soon as you are able. Steel yourself for the worst. While I hope for peaceful resolution to this matter, experience suggests that your meeting with the Lord of Levin will prove less than admissible. In such an event, your fellow Scions will of course lend you whatever support you require. You mean like they're gonna cheer me up from the distance? Thanks! That will be very supportive of you. I am in need of a dungeon today. Some days I love the main story, and other days I'm all like, I need distractions to get through with it. Though really it wasn't that bad, because a lot of it was voiced, but then you're like, you won't just go and fight Ramuh, no, you're gonna have to do the democracy thing, and that will take a while, and I so don't wanna. You look like a man with a dungeon. You look like a man of many dungeons. Oh. By the onion, you're magnanimous. You couldn't have come on a better time. A friend of mine sent word that he needs a capable adventurer, you see, and I naturally thought of you. Who's this friend you say? Well, none other than Comrade Ryer of the Yellow Jackets. He and I met back when I first started as a culinarian and have been friends ever since. Any road, I appreciate it if you pay him a visit and inquire as to what he needs doing. You'll find him in the Coral Towers with his Yellow Jackets. You see, I find this kind of doing of content really pleasant because on one hand we're doing the story, on the other hand we're doing some of the side content, I am doing the dungeons, I'm doing some of the raids, and that is exactly how you play an MMO. You can't just be like, main story only. Well, you can if it's interesting, but currently with the Realm Reborn quests, though there were a lot of things that I wanted to show off in this game. And I always argue with myself, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? I think we eventually settled for I should. Well, one of them will be outside of the coils. Will most likely be Alexander Normal. Simply because the fights are awesome. And I did semi-enjoy the story. The story of level 50 24-man dungeons is relevant. But not only does it take a while to wait for them to pop, like a very long while, the unlocking process also involves waiting on fates. So I'm not sure about that. Oh, the yellow jackets and somebody's bunny. God damn it, stairs. Good evening, Magnanimous. How timely. There is something I would ask of you. Ah, but where are my manners? Is there aught you require here at Blazing's behest, you say? Ha! Then he should send you of all people as a stroke of good fortune indeed. Permit me to apprise you of the situation. You will doubtless recall driving the Serpent Reavers out of Sistasha. Well, despite our best efforts to keep the place secure, I regret to inform you that it has been occupied by pirates. Pirates, I say, though eyewitnesses claim that they seemed more akin to the fiends from the briny depths. To be frank, we are not wholly certain what it is we're dealing with. I dispatched a party of adventurers to identify and eliminate the threat, and it would seem the courage failed them. But they were not you, my friend, and you will fare much better against whatever awaits within Sistasha. Okay, report to this guy that's still standing in front of the entrance. At least I look really special. Enjoying the music, but then I wanted to ride a carbuncle. Dude! Oh dude, I came to save the day again. Let me into the Sistasha hard mode. You're gonna help us again? Wonderful! You see those adventurers yonder? We sent them in first, but as soon as it became clear they were unequal to the task. By my count, they lasted just under a minute inside before staggering back out, sucking for air like fish out of the water. As such, we're no longer to ascertaining the nature of the threat, let alone eliminating it. You'll be going in blind, I know, but you purged Sistasha before, and I'm certain you can repeat the feat. Ah, these adventures, you mean? You better not be blaming me for that fiasco. In case you missed it, fearless leader, I was busy dodging razor-sharp pincers at the time. Someone couldn't hold the monster's attention like he was supposed to. Okay, let's queue up and then listen to the rest of what they have to say. Yeah, like, I'm super smooth in game now, but for some reason capping it to 60 actually caps it to about 42, and capping it to 30 actually caps it to 19. I remember the last time when I was streaming this, I would cap the stream to 30, and I would cap the game to 30, and then it would look seamless. But currently, it seems that whenever I cap the game to 30, it's actually running at 19. And the stream is capped to 60. Can bitrate make me have lower frame rate on the stream than it should be? No! Don't withdraw. I had stupid skin of a fruit stuck on my tooth. That wasn't very nice. Filthy intruders, squawk! Woo! And that might be me. That new adventurer just might be me. Stop shooting at them while I'm still running. Okay, I'm done running now. This is nice and relaxing. Gotta enjoy seeing things once. And you see them many more times and then it becomes a lot less enjoyable. But first time you see something very fun. He is not going after me, is he? No, he is not. Please, follow. Actually follow. This place is just so pretty. It makes me feel like they should have done an expansion pack on the mermaid town. I mean, I know that Stormblood had diving, but come on! These kind of locations. We're just asking to have a mermaid and seashell decor and happy places. Just have a storyline about the drowned pirate land. He is opening it. And whoosh, the water goes. Whoosh. That is a big crab. The crab does a lot of damages. Tends to do like little water swirly things. Healer tends to have a lot of jobs, a lot of, you know, time spent healing the people so that they're not on the brink of death, or else his water swirly things might kill them. He will do the slime thing. slime should be cleansed, or slime can appear on... Slime... The water swirly things can appear on slime. You don't want that to happen. He has me as the target. That might be a good thing considering that I'm the tank. Seems like if you're gonna target anyone, that should be the tank. See? Water swirly thing! And it hurts a lot! Especially when it happens to multiple people at once. How's work? More slimies. Oh! You're already on your way! But I don't have dinner prepared yet. And my healer just died. Come on, get into this excited mood while my healer stays dead. A lot of these dungeons gave crafting materials. Okay, now we can continue. I'll take the piranha. I'll take some more piranha. The music is like so epic, and then my healer just dies. And that's why the dungeon's so much more fun than the main scenario quests at Realm Reborn level. Later on, you're like, oh, but I really care about these people. At the moment, you're like, you're doing lots of mouth flaps that don't mean much to me. Ah, we approached the people that heal from the little brine balls. They should have healed themselves, so today I have caused a complete wipe of a heaven on high floor, and then I just never queued again in case I would land with the same. I ran into a stupid and died, and then the stupid went to the rest of my team, and I was like, God damn it. Come on, crab, you can die. Ah, I even got its leg. Honestly, I'm surprised that the leg is all that we took. I mean, crab meat is tasty. Okay, another one room like this. Come here, ladies. Its leg? Seeing crabs always makes me think that I should play Skyrim and go and find the giant mud crab. And I'm still not too sure, did they put it in as an Easter egg or did they just accidentally size the crab wrong? And they're dead, and now there's another bossy room, Cookie. Ah, I remember. Is that when they were talking about accuracy? Or is that a different game? Like, we're so accurate. You were playing. We were slaying a giant crab. Captain Madison, you say? Let's see what you look like. Oh my! You look like a proper squid man, you do. There may be some other enemies spawning, and I'm probably completely ignoring them. Maybe I should do all bosses like that, because I don't remember when was the last time when I saw this guy's face. And yeah, everybody has some ads on their feet. Not me, apparently. Oh, that's so weird. I can look down and not have any feet. I wonder what playing this game on an Oculus Rift feel like. Probably not very well. I like how they're just like trying to hand me the shooty. He does this thing where he like selects you as target and just starts shooting you a lot. Thornton was never a squid. But yeah, he selects a target and starts shooting at them, and there's literally nothing I can do to like make you not get shot at. I like that. Phew, well, you can't inflict enough damage on it. Like, I can't just, like, take over from you. Can't aggro it. I mean, it has no official support, but you can probably do it like a non-VR game you would. You know, where people, like, set their phones to be the screens and then put it on their faces. Oh, you mean the long beard and everything. I remember there was an April Fool's joke once about, we're gonna make Final Fantasy XIV VR! Imagine the Titan fight! And there was also that joke about fishing with your phone. Some people fell for some reason. That looked really bad. That's like little graboid thing on his head. Leviathan VR. Both would be about as wobbly. Come here, everybody. We're having a party. Big party. I may need to lock myself in place. Nope, didn't help. Eef. Whoopsie. Let me just continue running towards my teammates and hopefully at some point I will arrive. Guys, I'm bringing 2! We can kill 2, yes! I think they stopped coming. They did. That's a shame. That healer must have been so pissed because it took just a long while to just respawn. Oh, my team ran past me. I was waiting on them, so I was checking Discord and I was reading this funny conversation where a person was like, "Hey guys, you're still raiding in WildStar." And people were like, "Shut the fuck up, that's really insensitive." And he was like, "What? I want to test my new graphics card." And it's like, WildStar has shut down a month ago, and they're like, "Oh." Do this the slow way. Killing one enemy group at a time. Like a bad tank and healer combo. Guess my vulnerability stacks went away. We can do 2 pieces at the same time, hopefully. At least not the same as 3. Should be able to do it. Especially if the healer keeps on paying attention. As opposed to not paying attention. Wow! Cat woke up and decided to be really cute. Going, meow, meow, meow. Hey, Pon. You're a good kitty. Yeah. She looks at me like I have insulted her very soul. Now she's going back to sleep. My mother bought us quite a lot of cat food recently. Like, quite a lot of cat food. And a lot of them come in sachets, and they haven't been having sachet food for a very long time now. Because we have too many cats to have sachet food. And they absolutely are loving it, I think because they haven't had for so long. Like, cans just make a lot more sense when you have a lot of cats. To a point where they're asking for food at all times now because they're like, ah, it's the tasties! I have to barricade the food. You done well to make it this far, but your wish granted? What? Release the Kraken! Poor squid head. Poor bird. Oh hey look, tentacles. Remember, there are some places where he doesn't reach right. At least as far as the spit is concerned. Oh god damn it. Ooh, they're so strange, these sides. Oh god, I might wanna get away from that. Heal. Maybe continue to heal, please. So sad to see people not appreciating the main story scenario. While I'm sitting here not appreciating the main story scenario. Oh, my whole team died. Don't think I'm killing the Kraken on my own. Ah, things hurt at the moment. Yeah, I think I'ma die now. Yep. It helps having a team that's not dead. Okay, so we're in an okay balance with that. Remember my 50-person guild having issues with it? Well, it's more like if you want to raid, you should have different things up than if you want to level, and so essentially you're like switching between the two, and then and somebody wants crafting XP as well and things like that. I suppose your opinion on Heavensward leveling quests will vary depending on how much you hate the Moogles. You there okay? Stay alive, please. Even mind running the errands so much, it's the political crap that gets me. Somebody goes, hey, go and kill 3 chickens for me. I'm like, okay. They're going like, you know, go through the intricate issues happening in Uldah with the refugee crisis. I'm like, I really don't want to. Oh god, there's like a tentacle right behind me and it's making me hard to hit the octopus. Clicking all the wrong things. It's always really annoying for me to see people just like go, oh, this game's shit on the story and I just wanna raid and everything. I am very much against that mindset, and it's quite sad that I am stuck with people that have it. I understand some of the complaints, but a lot of them are pretty... like they wouldn't have this complaint in a regular RPG. They're angry at it because it's an MMO. Which is a bit weird for me, because for me an MMO is RPG first, MMO second. And I could never play an MMORPG that's a bad RPG. Everybody's still alive, we're still killing the Kraken. Oh yeah, the Rogadins. Rogadin's story approved the names. They look like you just made a bot. I imagine separating bots is really hard when that could just be a very RP interested Rogadin. And everybody fucked off. And they didn't like me. I think that's because I killed them once by pulling too much. Aw, they're still here, still being upset. Yeah, how could we let some other adventurer waltz in and finish the job? And only we had more competent healer. Understand you have secured Sestasha, not for the first time. Please accept my congratulations and my thanks. Had you not stepped in, my comrades and I might have kept on trying until we were quite dead. You see this group around? A few more times? And you see some very bad stuff happen to this group. You pair need to learn to relax. Here, have a swig of this. It will help, I promise. And it's kind of to put it into your mind that for everyone else on this planet, respawning's not that easy. And you have returned. Tell me, were you able to identify intruders? They looked like squids. Men who looked like jellyfish, and you say that they were Captain Madison and his crew? This is decidedly odd, but I know better than to doubt you. We'll have the bodies retrieved for study, and we might be better prepared to face such enemies in the future. Your work here is done, my friend. Please tell Elport that they're safe. I didn't want the marking menu, I wanted to just say that many funny languages around. I have already retrieved word of your success. You do not disappoint, Magnanimous. Sir, our body has arrived for inspection. Does he look normal now? This thing used to be a man? Gods be good, how did this happen? A sight to turn the stomach. Swear I haven't eaten. Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit brutal in my execution methods. My lady, thank you for granting us valuable time and expertise. Commodore, allow me to introduce Miss Sina, foremost among the celebrated Professor Lambert's students. Let us not stand on ceremony, friends. This man's natural form can be attributed, I believe, to the excess absorption of water-aspected ether. A living being can only absorb a certain quantity of ether before suffering adverse effects. To be altered so drastically requires a fatal dose, yet our subject has lived long enough to be struck down. A most peculiar case indeed. I've heard that a primal creates thralls by showering mortals with its own ether. Could this be an extension of that process? Dare say you have struck the mark, Commodore. If being exposed once to a primal's ether is enough to corrupt the mind, it's plausible that repeated exposure corrupts the flesh. Madison and his crew have failed to hold Sastasha for their Sahagin overlords, and I suspect that this was their punishment. The fishback's depravity knows no bounds. To think that creatures capable of such cruelty lurk nearby, I shall get another wink of sleep while I'm here. Have no fear, my lady, the Yellow Jackets are sworn to protect the outport. Okay, just nice exchanges. And now back to the actual matters at hand, which is Ramu. This was just a joyful sidetrack. Somebody failed to say Ola, Lao, Ado, Loa, Ola. Magnanimous of the Science, your arrival has been most anticipated. The appearance of a primal is ever the cause for alarm and unease. Yeah, there's plenty of people. I have to burb for a bit, and then I'm gonna read this quest, and then we're gonna play for like extra 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna go away. Okay, we were doing some reading, I think. Though my men stand ready for any eventuality, I know of none more qualified than you to snuff out this threat. Indeed, I would have you do so without delay. The elder Seer, however, would speak with you first. She is of the opinion that your diplomatic rather than martial skills may be better serve our cause. I will leave further explanation to our learned leader. Pray make your way to Nofika's altar. Okay. Why do we have to talk with literally everyone before we go and see Ramuh? Don't want to listen to Seedseer. Seedseer can listen to herself. Is she always just like surrounded by people, or is these like special occasions?
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, on behalf of the people of Gridania, I bid you welcome. Your presence is of great comfort to us all in these days of uncertainty.
I'm not the one to refuse pleasant talks, but you just get to the point.
I summoned you here to share tidings of a most urgent nature. But a short while ago, the great elemental spoke, and his voice was clarion in its intensity. Ramuh is returned unto the forest.
Yeah?
Scarce had his words ceased to echo in mine ears when we were visited by an emissary from Little Solace.
Aww, Sylph.
Our guest informs us that the Sylphs too have sensed the presence of the Lord of Levin. Though his exact whereabouts remain unknown, we may safely assume that the Primal was summoned within the heart of the Sylphlands. Unlike the other Primals you have encountered, Lord Ramuh is no raging avatar of destruction. He is revered as much for his wisdom as his strength, serving as both arbiter and guardian to his children. Given that we and the Sylphs found a way to share the Twelveswood, it is my hope that this sagely immortal will be amenable to reason, and that conflict may be avoided.
I just... That Sylph looked so sad. Just wanna hug all the Sylphs. See how cute they look.
Blessed as you are with the power of the Echo, you are one of the few among us who may commune with a Primal without fear of influence. I would ask, therefore, that you represent us in this most delicate of negotiations. The Twelveswood has suffered enough. Upon this, we and the Sylphs, and I would venture Lord Ramuh himself, are in perfect accord. Let us not endanger our shared home by engaging in unnecessary hostilities. Dear friend, I beseech you, safeguard the peace which exists between our peoples.
I have heard that already. I will. Anyone else that I should say I will to. And oh, she's so happy! Ah, that's one excited Sylph.
Pray make for Little Solace, then. A member of the Order of the Twin Adder awaits you there. He will advise you on how to find the Lord of Levin.
By looking for him with my eyes. I know that.
A wind blows through the forest. Yet, it is not only the Twelveswood that flinches at its coming. All the lands of Eorzea shiver in dread anticipation. Have care.
Okay. Well, at least we have heard that information from 3 different people that we shouldn't, like, engage Sylphs with violence. One just wasn't quite enough. We needed everyone to tell us that personally, like we're some mad ex-lady. They're like, you have no common sense, please no axing Sylphs. Whatever you do, no axing Sylphs. Did you get that part about not axing selves? Yeah. Maybe. So am I supposed to just like sneak in there? Magnanimous of the Science, I was told to expect you. I understand you go to treat with the primal Ramu himself on an unenviable task, and one that shall be made all the more difficult by the interference of the touched selves. With the aid of the Science and the inhabitants of Little Solace, the Order of the Twin Adder will enter the Sylphlands and do what can be done to clear our path. I shall believe you on to the impending operation once you're satisfied with your preparations. I am very satisfied with my preparations. It is indeed very satisfying to be this prepared. Ready, are you? Then allow me to explain the finer details of the foray into the Sylphlands. In order that you might treat with the Lord of Levin, you must first learn where the primal to be found. Though we are certain Ramu was summoned somewhere within the territory of the touched selves, his precise whereabouts yet elude us, and aimlessly thrashing around in the undergrowth will only lead to unnecessary conflict. Oh! Unenviable! Oh. That's a word, I think. We are fortunate, then, to have the expertise of the Science of the Seventh Dawn at our disposal. Mistress Ida and her companions will make use of the Charlian devices to measure recent etheric activity. They assure me that the disturbance caused by the summoning of a primal shall prove a most obvious beacon. But we must not get ahead of ourselves. Your first objective will be to join up with your fellow Science. Time being of the essence, they have already entered the Sylphlands. Fear not, however, they have a twin adder escort and a self-guide for calm... Help! This one needs help! The guide! What has become of our companions? The ones were ambushed at the border of Touched One's territory. Touched Ones tossed a stinging scale bomb, and arrow-shooting ones were left coughing and crying. What of the Scions? Arrow-shooting ones were in the lead and took the worst of the stinging. Other walking ones scattered away and that to escape the same fate. Barely 2 steps into the Sylphlands and we have already lost our charges. But it will profit us little to go running after them until we know exactly what we're facing. Let us first tend to the scouts and assess the situation, but I don't wanna! This one has cleansing water for walking ones. Splash it over arrow shooting ones and rinse away the stinking scales from eyes and nose and mouth. My thanks! I will leave this task in Magnanimous capable hands, for I want nothing to do with it. This is hardly an auspicious beginning, but I must ask you to adhere to the plan and rendezvous with your fellow Scions. If you can get the scouts back on their feet, they may be able to point you towards your companions. Oh, and be on your guard. If this operation is to succeed, we can ill afford any further mishaps. Coughing and crying ones are not far. This one will show walking one the way. Coughing and crying ones. Is it like needles? Like cactus needles? Probably is. Let me just take out my trusty panda to make this faster. That Sylph's a liar, they're not really showing me my way. But that is actually the better thing, for I do not want to do an escort mission. It's also quite nice how a lot of things in here are like level 40, because that means they don't aggro on me. Suffocating private, that can't be. Have some water. Drink it all down, that won't hurt your stomach. Gulp, splutter. Oh, that's so much better. Wheezing private. Put some water on your lungs. Will surely help your breathing. Cough, wheeze, thank you. A sylph through some matter of powder. Have some water and not be blind. This is the one point where the water actually makes a lot of sense. Ah, praise Nautical. I thought to claw my own eyes from my skull. Does that bastard sylph yet linger? I can still barely see. Another walking one? Ha, this one shall not falter. This one carries an entire sack of... This one's sack of scale bombs. It's gone. No matter. This one will fetch more. And the new walking one will suffer as well. This one just told me their whole plan. That was very funny. Hehe. This one stole touched one's sack while touched one was gloating over coughing ones. But this one's clever trick will mean not if touched one fetches more scale bombs. Walking one must act fast. This one will use another clever trick to help walking one move unseen. Walking one must sneak up to the touched one before this one's trick wears off. Take this scale bomb and give touched one a taste of touch one's own medicine. Is walking one ready? This one is eager to make mischief for touched one. Yeah, I know how transparency works. Oh my god, I have 10 viewers. This is amazing. Everybody, I'm doing a special stream on the 22nd from the morning, like 9 AM morning. I will be doing as many games as possible in the day. And for every game that I do, I will give out a code. And when the games are like too long to do... Oh god, I did not pay attention, my thing will run out. Should have put myself onto this flower thing. Would have prolonged it. But yeah, if the game is like too long to do, I will do at least 1 hour of each game. But if I'm enjoying it more. Okay, this time actually touch the flower. Flower touching good. Not flower touching bad. For I need to prolong my invisibilities. So I can actually just about get to the sylph without doing so, but every bit helps. Woo! Have some scale bombs! Ow, ow, ow! This one leaves smart and prickle, but this one was being so careful with the scales! Okay, did walking one touched one less stinging surprise? Hehehe. Touched one will not bother these ones for a time, this one thinks. And coughing and crying ones seem much better. Perhaps arrow shooting ones are ready to talk with walking one then. I can finally see again! Your aid is most appreciated. You are magnanimous of the signs, yes? Then you will doubtless be eager to know what became of your fellows. And I should probably accept this because otherwise I will forget where it is. As you're aware, our party fell victim to an ambush. We scouts immediately moved forward to engage the enemy and bid the Scions to take cover. Then, before we knew what was happening, the air was filled with that stinging, choking dust. The last thing I saw before my vision clouded was Master Papalymo stumbling northeast towards the Gold Leaf base. I know not what befell the others. The Dutch Sylphs are certainly alerted to our presence in their territory, and I urge you to locate our companions quickly. Maxio, our guide, will be of the greatest help to you in this endeavor. Meanwhile, my fellow scouts and I will seek to draw the attention of potential ambushers away from you. Their nasty tricks will not find us such easy prey a second time. Unless they have some more scale bombs. But, anyways, thank you for watching, people. Tomorrow I'm gonna be doing coils again, and hopefully we're gonna progress. Thank you for watching.